Gaffer, second pre-season game has come to an end. Really difficult conditions out there. What's your assessment of that?
Yeah, good to get the first two games over and done with. By and large, they're always ugly affairs, really, in terms of baking hot days. Bit of a sticky wicket to play on for both teams, and people are just finding the legs after hard pre-season schedule. So the output normally is similar to this, where people are just finding the passing range and finding their form early in pre-season. Unfortunately, we've got two injuries, one concussion with Belly. It's an unfortunate challenge, and then Reece Smith just tightened up at the end with his groin, so hopefully the extent isn't too severe and we can get him back on the pitch as soon as possible.
With that injury to Belly, Toby Sharkey was introduced, only travelling with the team because Mark Oxley was ill on the day of the game. What an opportunity for him, and how do you feel like he dealt with the pressure coming on and kept a clean sheet in the end?
Yeah, I was pleased with the way he attacked the cross second half and punched clear really well indeed, and showed a good attitude coming on under pressure like that. It's not easy at all when you're a very young keeper, but he's got good potential that we've seen in training, and it will do in the world of good having that experience with the first team.
And with the heat today, how important was it to consider the player welfare at all times? Plenty of drinks breaks throughout that, and just such baking conditions. That's really the priority today.
No, absolutely. We wanted to come through unscathed. We didn't quite manage that, but to be fair to the referee, we put in a request for drinks breaks at 15 minutes after kick-off and then half an hour into it, and he agreed to that, and so did Ilkeston. So at least that was sorted it, so no one was too dehydrated and flaked out.
And in terms of the other players missing today, Warren, Tomo, Levi, Ben Fox and Jack Muldoon, are any of them getting a little bit closer and we can maybe expect to see them involved over the next couple of weeks in pre-season?
Well, the conclusion from the scan from Ben Fox was that it'd just be a week and 10 days. We may, in fact, leave it 2 weeks just to make sure the prehab's right and he can come back full tilt when he appears back on the pitch. At least it's in pre-season where it's not brilliant for any injury occurrence, but at least there's no meaningful games, playing for points where he's missing. Other than that, Levi's injury is worse than we thought, which is unfortunate because that's a big centre midfield player that we are missing. Warren should be fit for the first game of the season.
Outfield players who did manage to get 90 minutes today, Nziko Asare, Bobby Faulkner and Lucas Barnes in midfield. How much will that benefit them at this early stage, getting 90 minutes in the tank? Yeah,
well, the three lads who can lap it up with the running, the right at the front of the running and can handle that. They're robust physically and a baking hot day, like I've already said. It was a very difficult test for them, but they came through very well indeed, so I'm pleased with them.
Looking at the next three pre-season games, our final three, all back at at the Exercise Stadium against good opposition, what do you want to see from the lads in that one?
What we're wanting to see from the lads is a bit more quality in the opposition half, where we pass it a bit higher tempo, be a bit more inventive in the attacking third and show an edge that we want to take into the league and cup form when it matters. Like I say, glad to get the first couple of pre-season games over and done with, and great to be back at home on Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank you.